Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my first Division video in a long time, and I do apologize for that, but you know, the game was just so stale, it was pathetic. Now, luckily, we do have some new things to talk about, so today I'm going to be showing you my Heartbreaker AR build for TU15, and the best part is, you do not need to waste a skill slot for a pulse to make this version work. Now, I will be doing other versions in the very near future, so stay tuned for those, but until then, as always, I hope you enjoy and find these videos helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and be sure to drop a comment down there below. So let's get into this. Alrighty, so before we move on to anything else, let's actually take a look at what we're going to be getting from the Heartbreaker set, right? Now, the two-piece is going to be giving us that plus 15% assault rifle damage and plus 15% LMG damage, so you can really go either way with this build. The three-piece is going to give you that plus 15% weapon handling, and the four-piece gives you the talent Heartstopper. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Headshots. Now, that's where this build gets me right there with that headshot deal, but we have a way to fix that, and I will show you that in just a little bit. But regardless, weapon hits on pulsed enemies adds a stack of plus 1% bonus armor and plus 1% damage to pulsed enemies, up to a max of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second, and with the chest piece, we're going to be able to increase the max stacks from Heartstopper from 50 to 100, so we can get 100 stacks up on this build. So that is definitely a big thing right there. 100% bonus armor, 100% damage to the pulsed enemies, and you know, it is what it is. This thing has been working amazing, so let's test it out. Alright, so here we go. We're down here in the shooting range. Let's change the difficulty, put it up to let's see, named. Let's go to named. Yeah, let's try that. And again, I do not have a pulse equipped, but as soon as I aim at him, you see the little yellow box above his head? He is pulsed. So then you just let it rip. And you see that armor stacking up? Nice. See the Heartbreaker stack stacking up? And once you get to the max stacks, I mean, we can hit the head over 1,000,000. So I'd have to say we're doing pretty good for having 4 blues on the build. You know what I mean? Here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, so we're at almost max stacks. Let's reload, and let's aim for the head on this one. Look at that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you don't have to use a pulse. Again, you can use whatever skills you want. Just basically have to have the long barrel attachment for your weapon. And that's about it. You can do this real easy. No pulse is needed. Alrighty, so on to the good stuff. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be running 2 reds and 4 blues. And even with all these blues, we can still dish out some really nice damage with a lot of survivability to back it up. Now, also, I would say take note that I'm going to be using the Technician specialization simply for the underbarrel laser pointer attachment that we unlock. And it fits on long rails only. Got to emphasize that. It only fits on long rails. And I'll show you the difference here in just a moment. But this basically allows you to simply aim at an enemy and pulse them. That's it right there. Boom. In turn, you get the damage and armor bonus up from shooting an enemy without getting a headshot first or wasting a skill slot for a pulse. All you got to do is aim at them. You aim down sight, boom, they're pulsed, and you let it rip. So I have been having a lot of fun with this. Definitely try this out. This weapon right here, just a basic FAL, nothing too crazy. 109k per bullet, 650 RPM, 40 in the mag. Got maxed out assault rifle damage, health damage, and crit hit damage. You know, to each their own, whatever you want to try. This is definitely going to work out a lot, I promise you that. And this comes with the talent Flatline on here. Amplifies weapon damage by 15% to pulsed enemies. Now, the second part doesn't really matter for me. After 3 kills, applies pulse to the next enemy you hit, because no matter whoever I aim at, doesn't matter, they're getting pulsed regardless. So that bottom part doesn't really matter, but we're going to get that extra 15% damage up to anybody that is pulsed. So gotta love that right there. Now, moving on to my secondary weapon, the Dare. And this is what I wanted to talk about with the short and long barrel versions. As you can see, we do not even have the ability to put on the laser pointer that is going to pulse them. And that is because this is a short barrel version, apparently. I don't know. But I found that if you do want to use an LMG, you can use like a M60, M249, Negev, just things like that, you know, like the bigger models, I guess you could say, the long barrel versions. Otherwise, you will not be able to. So it's kind of a bummer you can't put it on the Dare. I think they did that on purpose because this would be a little bit OP, but that's for another video. So those are the weapons right there. Now let's get on to the gear pieces. Alrighty, so on to the mask here. It is Fenris. We get that plus 10% assault rifle damage just for wearing it. 15% weapon damage on there with a whole bunch of crit chance and damage. Pretty straightforward on that. Just max out your crit chance and damage as much as possible and you'll be doing just fine. Okay, so moving on to the chest piece here. It is a Heartbreaker vest, nothing too crazy. We've already talked about what we're going to get from Heartbreaker, so let's check out these attributes because I'm going to make things extremely easy, just super simple for you guys. So let's just hear me out for one moment. Now, as everybody has probably noticed, Heartbreaker always comes with blue cores, right? It always comes with armor for a core attribute. I would say just try to get a 3/4 value like I have on this piece right here. You don't have to have a maxed out roll of armor on every single piece. Now if you get them, hey, that's even better, right? That's great. But you don't necessarily need it for it to be viable because of how the gear set actually works with all the bonus armor. So just try to get a halfway decent armor roll on there and then roll crit chance on every single piece that is Heartbreaker. So it's two things you need to do with the Heartbreaker pieces. Get a halfway decent armor roll and put crit hit chance on them. That's it, and you will be doing great. And then go ahead and use crit hit damage for the mods. Very simple, very effective, and I have been having a blast with it. Now, as far as the talent goes for the chest piece, it is called Max BPM. Increases max stacks for Heartstopper from 50 to 100. So instead of just being able to get the 50 stacks of bonus armor and damage, we're going to get 100 stacks. That is huge right there. That is absolutely amazing. I don't think anything can really replace this chest in my opinion, because if you get even if you get to 50 stacks even, you're doing more than Spotter or anything like that. So definitely try this chest piece out. It will be worth it. Alright, so moving along to the holster here. Nothing too crazy, another Heartbreaker piece. This one right here comes with, you guessed it, some more armor and crit hit chance. And then moving on to the knees, literally the same thing. Like I was saying with the chest piece, just have to get a halfway decent armor roll on there and then put crit hit chance on there and you're golden. It is what it is. Now moving on to the gloves, they are Grupo, giving you that plus 15% crit hit damage just for wearing them. Got a halfway decent weapon damage roll on there with some crit hit damage and crit hit chance. Like I said, pretty straightforward on everything right here so far. Just max out that crit hit chance and damage as much as possible. Alrighty, so on to the final piece, and it is also Heartbreaker. The attributes that I have on here, armor, crit hit chance, and then another crit hit damage mod. Pretty straightforward, guys. Now the talent on the backpack is amazing as well. It increases the total bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1 to 2%. So that could be 200%. Extra bonus armor, 200% extra damage. That is absolutely ridiculous. Again, I don't think anything is going to trump this backpack, just like the chest piece. I think these two pieces are a must in my opinion, and you know, I don't know. I'm going to try some other things, but so far this is definitely where it is at. Alrighty, so before we go off to the stat sheet, let's take a look at these skills really quick. I'm going to be using a Crusader shield, and you don't have to use a shield. You could really use whatever you want because, again, we are not glued to using a pulse. We don't have to use a pulse. So really just use whatever you see fit, and you'll be doing just fine, I promise you. But I'm going to go with this shield here because since we have all these blues, as you can see, the health on it is 4 million. 4 million hit points on a Crusader shield. I have to say that's pretty good right there. And other than that, I'm going to be using a Reviver Hive just in case I do get pinched. Well, you can get back up. So other than that, let's move on to the stat sheet. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Now again, my weapon talents that I'm going to be using are Flatline or Perfect Flatline. You know, pretty straightforward on that. My base weapon damage is 109,000. My crit hit chance is 51%. So at least we broke 50%. That should mean that at least 5 out of 10 bullets should be landing with a crit hit and hitting with 135% crit hit damage. Now with that crit hit chance getting up to 51%, I see a lot of people struggling to break 30-40%, and like I said before, on all of your Heartbreaker pieces, just simply get a good armor roll on there and then put crit hit chance on there and use crit hit damage for your mods, and this is basically what you get. 75% headshot damage, We've got 21 health damage, 32 meter range, 2-second reload time. We've got some reload speed, accuracy, stability, weapon swap speed. We've got weapon handling. We've got ammo capacity. I mean, we've got it all on this. We've got 37.9% all weapon damage bonus there and 55% assault rifle damage bonus. So have to say we're doing pretty good right there. And the gear talents that we're going to be using are cold and max BPM, both on the chest and the backpack for the Heartbreaker set. Now, as far as putting this together, very, very simple. 1 piece of Fenris, 4 pieces of Heartbreaker, and 1 piece of Grupo. You know, you get that 1 piece of Fenris for the assault rifle damage, 4 pieces of Heartbreaker, and 1 piece of Grupo for extra crit hit damage. Pretty straightforward on that. Now, as far as defense goes, we're sitting at 1.3 million armor. I'd have to say we're doing pretty good right there. 333,000 max health. Got a little bit of health regen here. We've got pulse resistance, explosive resistance, all this good stuff right here. Nothing too crazy, but that is about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed and found this video helpful. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and be sure to drop a comment down there below. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you then. Later.